What up, Tiger? What up? What up? Uh-oh, Southern California's in the building. So check it out. Hey, so listen, this don't stop. This do not stop. I'm gonna have to plug you guys into what's happening right now. So, as you all know, I know, everything is slow. Everything is crawling like a slug. But listen, that's the perfect time for you to get faster. That's the perfect time for you to start getting lean, getting quick, and getting to the customer faster than the title company. Get to the customer faster than the crosstown competitor. Get to simple ways. One of the easiest ways to do it, and I know you do this. I'm just saying, your Calendly ain't Calendlying, Tiger. Your Thumbtack ain't Thumbtacking. So what do you do when that happens? What happens, bro? What happens?
You have to move around, man. You gotta have to move around. For real.
I know, man. I know somebody dropped this in your ears. Go get all these softwares, but the software ain't softwaring. I can see it. You're starting to implement some of these things, some of these techniques, these tools, these methods, and that's a good sign. That's great. That's what you want. You want to advance forward. But listen, whatever you use with Brindle, Setmore, Acuity, Woo Calendar, all these different things, if you don't inject the life into it, then it ain't gonna do nothing. It's just gonna be there. It's gonna sit there. The same thing that you do with Woo Calendar, same thing that you do with Brindle, Acuity, Setmore, AppSumo. I mean, you can go down the list,
Mm-hmm.
You have to inject the life into the software. Regardless of what I use, regardless of what you use, your core mission doesn't change, right? Your essentials, your process is what makes it work, is what is the sauce. That's what make the magic happen. And here's the magic right here. You ready? Drop this for you guys. Regardless of what you use, because again, the lady just called me. I'm at the gas station trying to put a nickel on pump 2. Gas prices so damn high, but it ain't no thing because I'm gonna put as much energy and much money as possible to get more and more and more people calling me, and I'm not afraid to do that only because once somebody gets in front of me, got him. For example, my sole mission is to make you get to the next step. It's to advance the person forward. Whether Calendly does that, whether Brindle, whether Acuity, whether Setmore, whether all these different softwares, Thumbtack, all these different things that you pay for, those are all designed to move the person forward. So I know I'm going to be advancing the person forward in their quest, in their customer journey, in their excursion for her bedridden auntie to get a pension rollover signed. The lady calls me. I'm just minding my business, doing what I do. You do what you do. You just minding your business. You're at work. You're with your kids. You're at the grocery store, pumping gas on pump 2. You're just minding your business. But all of a sudden, phone rings. All of a sudden, the money phone rings. And then what? The whole purpose is to advance the person to the next step, get them through the process. So that's what the softwares do. That's what these tools do. But if somebody just told you, go get that software, go get that, go get on Thumbtack because, that's where people look for leads. But they didn't tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Go get Calendly, go get all these different tools. They didn't tell you why. All they did was make some recommendation off the cuff that, listen, that's what people are doing, so I guess you should do it. That people are doing apostles, so I guess you should do it. People are being wedding officiants, I guess you should do it. But you're not understanding the whole purpose is to get the client. That's the only objective, whether they come for fingerprinting, whether they come for wedding, whether they come for 1,000 documents, they're trying to send something to Bulgaria. The whole purpose is to land the client, and at the end of the day, if you don't get the client, then what? You can offer as many services as you want. My core purpose is to advance the person to the next step, and when you accomplish that, that's when you can start using the tools in a certain way. That's when it makes sense to invest as much possible, because you know it's going to come back. You're confident with your ability, with your process in getting clients. Honing in on that, and now it's endless. Now the opportunities for the softwares and stuff is endless. But I don't want to see you just go spend money on some subscription service if it's not even, you don't even know why you're doing this. Just somebody just told you to go do it. Go do it. Go try that. But they don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't tell you to go get on Thumbtack. I would say go learn about it first, because it might not even, the type of clientele that's on Thumbtack might not be who you're actually looking for. You might like a more of a remote setting. I don't know. Maybe you love going in person. Maybe you love loan docs. Maybe you're afraid to go inside of jails. Maybe you don't like medical facilities, right? I would say learn about Thumbtack first. As soon as you learn about it, learn the ins and outs, learn the platform, learn how to set up your profile, learn how to respond to the person in a timely manner. Know that the characteristic, the demographic of the person who uses it, they want an immediate answer. Now all of a sudden I can put $80 a month into Thumbtack and I can spit out $4,000, because I understand, number one, the person who is using that service, they want an answer now. So I'm going to respond now, and then I'm going to price it appropriately, and then they're going to be satisfied. Win-win-win situation. So if you're Calendly, you're in luck. You're in the right spot. You are in the right spot. Trust me on this. Advance to the next step. That's the thought. That's why we have the event. That's why I close deals. If you want to close deals, the only objective is to close deals, to get appointments. That's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody tuning in too. Shout out to Fisherman on this joint. Shout out to Tailored. Shout out to 33. Shout out to Empire Notary. What up? Nah, you know, we was talking about that yesterday, right? How people will see the face value part of the company and not actually see what the mechanics are going on behind the scenes, right? So it's nothing for a person to just jump on your website and see how you have your website structured and they copy that, right? They'll just completely copy your whole website, or they'll go to your Calendly opt-ins and then copy that. But they don't see the intricate workings of the background, like why is this in place? And what part does this come into play? They can make assumptions, they can make guess, but you don't actually know what makes it tick. It's like copying all of Coca-Cola's commercial and expect the same commercials to work for your insurance brand. It's like these commercials are designed for a beverage company, right? You are in a different industry. You're expecting the best Doritos commercial to work for your company the same way, when you don't understand the intricate workings. You don't understand that this company's been around for X amount of years. A big brand marketing plan is different from a solo entrepreneur business owner. They are on a whole different level, you guys. So if you think you're going to be copying, now there's some things that you can copy, like you aesthetic wise, like because you want it to look aesthetically fancy or sexy or whatever, but you have to understand, like, their goal is different. They may be going after brand awareness. They may be going after, hey, we want to build a brand culture around this. And you're not at the build the brand culture stage. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to scale back and be like, because the number one goal of an entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, a person that's just starting in business, you guys only have one goal only, to make a profit. That's it. All that extra stuff that you're doing, you do not need to be concerned with that right now. Your whole goal is to close deals and make a profit, dude. You're thinking about customer service. You're thinking about, I'm going to go do this, and, you know, I can't wait for the holidays to come around because then I'm going to give everybody TGI Friday gift cards and shit. Dude, like, you're not there yet. That should not be your goal. Easter, I'm giving out Easter baskets. I'm going to rent out the fucking Easter bunny, and I'm going to go into the loan closing fucking offices and hop around. And like, you ain't there yet, B. I don't know if you ever want to be there.
That's real. That's a completely legit, man. Such a great point. It is, because you're way ahead of the game. You're like on step 3 or step 4, but you haven't done step 2 or step 1. And at an early stage, because would you agree that most notaries are like startups?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Even the ones that have been in the game for years, they're still. I told you about my appointment yesterday, right? Now, mind you guys, like, I'll show you guys the invoice. If y'all want to see the invoice and shit. 3 pages, $307 for that assignment. 3 pages, 3 pages, $307, and I think 67 cents. There's a method to the madness with the staggered number, you guys. There's a method to the madness. And if you guys signed up for the iClose deals, you are going to find out the method to that madness. There's a reason why we have these weird-ass numbers at the end. It's a psychological thing for it. So yesterday, this lady, who was a paralegal and a notary, she was a notary for like a decade.
Yeah.
For a decade. So I go into the office, right? You know what I mean? I walk up in the office. I'm like, I'm gonna notarize these 3 pages. Then I'm breezing. I had the wife in the whip. We are about to go do our little dinner date. You know, go to Giordano's, get some deep dish pizza. We was gonna make an outing out of it. So I walk in. As soon as I sit down, the lady says, "How do I do what you're doing?" Now, mind you, she's been a notary for about a decade, but she's like, "How do I do what you're doing? I've been a notary for 10 years. I work for the Secretary of State, everything. Like, how do I do what you're doing? Because I heard that you guys make really good money." Right? So when I disclosed to her how much, like, you know, these are the potential, she almost fell out of her seat. She was like, "Please, can I get your cell phone number? Can I call you personally?" It's, you know, so she never had a mentor. She never had, it was probably her job at the Secretary of State that made her become a notary. They weren't giving her a game like that, right? They didn't give her a game like that. So she just went into being a notary. She had her a notary plaque on the back like it was a degree from Harvard and shit. You know what I mean? Like, she graduated at Ivy League school. Shout out to that chick, because she was a real cool lady. She just didn't know the game.
Right.
She just didn't know the game.
And therein lies the difference. Therein separates the difference, and it's not necessarily like a bad thing or a good thing or a superior thing or an inferior thing. It's not nothing like that. She just did. Nobody told me. Nobody. That's all she can say. Nobody told me. Nobody told me. And now here you come, and you're showing her something that was never exposed to her. Or I get that question. The question I give, people are interested in it, especially the younger people. Like, I was doing something at a hospital recently, and she was doing some fertility work. And she was relatively young, but she was like, "I'm going to be out of the country for the next 4 months, but when I get back, I would love to learn how to do this. What does it take to become a notary?" She was like, "What does it do? What do you have to do? How do you qualify?" I'm basically hit her, "Hey, can you pass a background check?" You know? Yeah. She goes, "Yeah." And I say, good. Can you sit in the class from 6 hours? And some people don't even have to do that, right? They don't even have to sit in the class. They just sign up.
Yep.
But you're right, man. People who have never been exposed to this, no one sat them down and told them this. Just like they never told you about stocks. They never told you about trust. They never told you about power of attorneys. You didn't learn about this. You didn't learn about these tools. What they did tell you is this, though. You know what? They told you how not to get sued, right? They told you, and then they pumped that fear into your mind. Yeah. If you put your name on this document, you're going to get a $10,000 fine. You sign something incorrectly, you don't identify somebody correctly, you're going to go to prison for 10 years. We're going to put you in a jail cage if you put your name on some document that you haven't identified correctly. If you cross out an initial, and right, they put that fear into you in those classes. How to do this correctly by the book so that the sheriff doesn't come kicking down your door for a signature that you put on a piece of paper. Come on now. What you want to know is how to have a business. Isn't that why you started this? Isn't that the reason why you started this? To be your own boss?
Yeah.
That's the reason I started it.
Yeah, you're right. Like shit. Here in Illinois, you don't have to sit and you don't have to do a test. In Iowa, all you need is a fucking pulse and shit, and you could be a notary. So the entry barrier is very low in a lot of states, but none of them are going to put you on the game on how to market yourself, how to sell, how to close deals, none of that stuff. And that is where you need someone to walk you through that shit. You're not so. Listen, you guys, I'll say this over and over again, and I'll keep saying it because I keep seeing the same mistakes being done. You keep asking people who has zero balance in the industry that you're in. They have insufficient funds, but you're trying to make a withdrawal because they have no skin in the game at all, man. You asking your moms, how does this sound? How do my website look? How do you think I did on closing this deal? Your mom has no clue, dude. She's a nurse. She's never built a business on her. Eric Thomas said this. He said he had told his wife, he had told his mom, he's like, I'm quitting my job at the university to pursue my career as an entrepreneur. She said, don't you quit that job. You have great benefits, you're married, you got 2 kids, don't you dare quit that job. And he was like, Ma, no offense, but I'm not listening to you because you never built a multi-billion-dollar business.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, I respect what you did for the family, but you have never been where I'm going.
This is different.
So you're asking your buddy, you're asking your cousin, how does my logo look? How does this look? I just designed, and you're getting all of this feedback from people that have no fucking clue. And all they could do is give you their opinion. It's not even expert opinion. They're just giving you their opinion. I don't really like that red with the blue. But yet, fucking, they got the American flag on the back of their car with red, white, and blue.
Thank you. Man, they're not even interested at that, right? They kind of know what notary is, they kind of know what business is, and maybe they know about it, but you're asking their opinion, and they're not even interested, let alone no true understanding or comprehension of it, right? It's and so, but speaking about having skin in the game, I reached out to Cam because, man, Cam saved my ass today, man.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Jeez, bro, Cam saved my ass. Last night and today, matter of fact, both days. Fisherman goes, that healthcare directive that I mentioned last live didn't go through. All that told me is that I'm lacking knowledge in this business. It didn't go through, as in they didn't hire you. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I'm gonna assume that that's what you meant by that, Fisherman. I mean, you probably didn't mean that you signed it and then they tried to execute it and then like it got rejected. I'm guessing that's not what you meant. But yeah, you try to get at a client who was looking for a healthcare director to get notarized and they didn't select you. All right, bro, we got you on that. We'll take care on that. But I'm gonna tell you what Cam saved me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, Cam is like the queen of apostles. She's legitimately, she's the person. See, people put apostille on their website, don't they, Tiger? They put fingerprinting on their website. They put all these different things in an attempt to try to attract or just happen by chance to get the person who Googled notary or Google fingerprinting or Googled apostille and then get that person. But the truth is, they've never executed or facilitated an apostille appointment. Never had done it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's like me putting wedding officiant on my website, but I've no experience doing weddings. Right? Now, can I be surprised when someone calls me for a wedding? No, I shouldn't, because it's there. But if I've never done that, then I don't know how to walk someone through that whole process like I do in the same way that I like to do a notary. So I put so on my website, I can, if you call at this stage, if you call me for a apostille, I can book, right? I don't necessarily execute them because Cam is the person who I would defer everything to her. So this is what she hit me with.
Mm-hmm.
So about 6 months ago, I did some work for her, and I had to do a copy certification for like a passport. Somebody make a color copy of a passport, and then they just put their signature on it, they just sign it, and then in California, you can attach a copy certification, good to go, boom. So it's rare that I get those, but that one time that I did it for her, I just kept a couple of these extra loose attachments with me. This was months ago. Last night, get this, all right, I'm walking out of the basketball game, the gym. I'm just leaving the gym. Guess what happened? Phone rings. And it's still technically business hours. That's why I'm saying, bro, just live your life, do what you want to do, go to work if you have to, go play with your kids, and let this business operate in the background of your life. In the event that somebody needs you or needs something signed, you can help them. You can help facilitate this. And here's a clear example of this happening. And this happens daily, by the way. This happens every day, by the way. All right. But last night in particular, Cam saved my ass. Those copy certifications that she gave me like a couple months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I had like 5 of them left. I leave the gymnasium last night, and then the girl hits me up. Is there any way we can get someone tonight? That's the first question out of her mouth. Is there any way we can get someone tonight? And you know what the answer is, right?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. All right. So, but walking someone through this process is not guessing. It's not magic. There is a methodical, step-by-step process in which you can do this, and it is duplicatable. It can be repeated time and time after again. That's automation. And that's why you start to automate your cash flow, because you can do this time and time on repeat. I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, slap me in the face, and I can do this on repeat time and time again. She hits me up. She says, I need 4 or 5 signatures. You know what? It's 5 or 6 signatures. I need to send some documents to India, but it's important that it gets done tonight. I have an appointment tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. I called everybody. 2 people already canceled on me. Is there any way we can get this done tonight? And the answer, of course, is yes. I get to her house, and she has the copies of her passport. The same form that Cam gave me 5 months ago. I still kept it in my journal, right? I just kept it in my bag. Here's how she saved my ass. The woman, she told me she needed 5 or 6 signatures. No problem. I hit her up for that. I get there, and it turns out it's only 3 signatures. So I had 5 copies of the attachment that I was supposed to give her, but I only used 3, so I had 2 left over. She's happy. She's all taken care of. This morning, bro, I went to an appointment. I went to a high-level appointment with the founder of a very popular second-hand company. He was doing the same exact thing, bro. And See, his assistant didn't tell me that because, to be honest, it don't matter. I know that you need one signature or two signatures, and I never spoke a word to her, but she booked the appointment on autopilot, on automation, without even talking to her. This is the assistant of the founder of a very prominent online company. No second guessing, just book the appointment. That's exactly how I want my customers to behave, to perform. I want my customers, because they don't care about the price. They care about getting the document notarized. That's all they care about. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that they get this document taken care of. And that's exactly how this customer behaves. And this happens daily if you allow the apparatus to happen. She did that. I got to the appointment. I had no clue what they were getting ready to do, but it don't matter because Andre Hatchett, Notary Business School, I'm, Notary SEAL team, I walk into any environment. It don't matter. Medical facility, jailhouse, your business, it don't matter. I'm walking to any facility and I'm prepared. But it just so happened that had I not had those two certifications, those copy certifications, that was left over from the previous night, man. Yeah. So Cam saved my ass, man. Saved my ass at the end of the day. The system works the way it works. It's going to book appointments. It's going to it's going to spit out as many appointments as you want, as your capacity can take, right? Yeah. I can take as many as possible. I set it up to where I can take appointments at any time of the day. Now, the truth is, the reality is, I'm not available at all hours of the day. Neither are you. No one is. No one's available 24/7. Not really. But that doesn't stop you from being able to book the appointment to secure the clients, which at the end of the day is the objective. Only one objective as a startup notary business. Book appointments, get clients, secure the client. That's your only objective. Everything else falls into play. But this has to exist first, bro.
Cam's a rock star, dude. She's a rock star, hands down. There's so much to this game that has nothing to do with notarization. It's hilarious because a lot of it doesn't even get spoken about, right? Like, okay, but once you do a certain type of document, like a power of attorney, damn near the other 90% looks the same. You know what I mean? Like, so there's only so much you could talk about when it comes to power of attorneys or affidavits or an I-9. Like, they haven't changed the look of an I-9 in fucking probably like 50 years and shit, right? Yeah. So that stuff, at that point, I can almost go to YouTube and watch it for free. And I literally did that for I-9s. I learned how to fill out an I-9 on my way to an I-9 appointment. You know what I mean? As soon as I pulled up, the video was over and I was like, got it. And then I went in there and I executed this shit. But it's it is, okay, you're going to have 3 buckets, right? There's 3 major buckets that you're going to have to worry about. A couple of the buckets you don't have to worry about right now, but the first bucket is like the #1 bucket, and that's sales and marketing. No matter what business that's around, sales and marketing is their primary #1 bucket. Then you're going to have your second bucket, which is operations, right? And then your third bucket is going to be more like financing and then administration. Your job is to worry about the first bucket, and the first bucket only because the first bucket is going to pay for those other 2 buckets. So I know we're doing tell them more about the iClose deals that we got going on, Tekk.
So there's a segment of people out there who they've tried business cards, they've tried going door to door, putting door hangers, putting store decals, on their car. You try that. I even saw an umbrella, a notary umbrella, which I thought was brilliant. I thought that was cool. But let's say you live in California where it don't rain. Who's gonna ever see that umbrella? You can put a lot of time. You can invest a lot of time into marketing, right? Marketing that doesn't necessarily give you a return. And at the early stages of your startup, again, we talked about you have one objective. It's not about your return on your market. It's about booking appointments. It's about securing clients. It's about closing deals. And this isn't magic. It's not some imaginary lucky spell. No, it's just a matter of whether or not you're doing this. And it's not a matter if it works. It's just a matter of if you're doing it. Because when people reach out to you, the first thing you have to understand is that they're trying to get a notarization done. Now, you can't help them unless you know, number one, what are you charging this person? That's all that matters. So if I ask you, hey, man, what do you charge for a single signature passport application in downtown Miami? You got to know, boom, right off the spot. We're going to help you with that. If you don't know it, don't worry. We're going to help you with that. And this is not just some arbitrary number. It's not an imaginary number. This number is based, this price is based on a real life tangible variable. That means how much money do you need per month, and then how much time do you have available in your week? That's going to give us what you should be charging, number one. So we're going to walk you through step by step how to set this up, right? So that way, when people call you and they say it's 7:38 p.m., I've got 5 signatures that needs to go to Bulgaria. Can you come tonight? You don't have to do calculations and do math and do algebra and then pull out your calculator and then be unconfident when they ask you, you say it's $100 and they say, wow, I thought it would be like $5,000. And then you just lost out on $5,000, right? Hypothetically, I'm speaking, right? So number one, you're going to know what your charge. Number one, you can't get beyond that unless you know, number one, what you're going to charge for. So I'm going to give you that. And then that's going to be the first half hour. Second half hour, I'm going to give you 3 different scenarios because every scenario is different. Every customer is different. Hell, you're not even the same person that you were yesterday. You are a different person. You're not the same person that you were last month or the year before that. Everybody goes through their things. So now what's constant is, like you said, an I-9 is an I-9. All right. Whether you do it in Chicago, whether you do it in Los Angeles, I-9 is an I-9. There might be some slight variation with the customer, with the situation, with their location, with the number of signatures, with the time, all these different opportunities for you to add value. So instead of you fumbling and bumbling about what the price is and then how you can actually help this particular scenario, again, it's not so much getting the person at the price that you want. It's the Friday afternoon where they're at the emergency room and they're trying to get a power of attorney and their cousins are visiting from out of town. We've got these scenarios. We're going to give you a variation of scenarios, and you're going to see just how, and we're talking through this, but this happens at seconds. This happens quick. It's fast. This happens like in split seconds. You'll be able to price yourself, and you'll be able to walk the customer through their process so that they can get on your appointment roll. That's iClose Deals. We're gonna walk you through this whole entire thing, so that way you walk away, won't be no second guessing. Won't be no. You can take the information like literally that night, and I'll be damned if you don't get if you can't increase your prices that same night. You can't increase your prices that same night. Well, I'm not gonna say this, but I would say I'll put money in your pocket. But I mean, I'll say it, whether not that's that'll go through.
Well, it's hard to dictate somebody else's work ethic, right? That's the only thing. We're not answering the phones for them, so it's kind of hard to give that type of guarantee. But how can they take part of it?
So go to the link in my bio, click on that link. It's going to say iClose Deals. It's going to take you to a page. Read about it. Look at all the information that's there. Then get your tickets. The reason why you want to do this sooner than later is because after next Monday, there will be a set few tickets left. There's not going to be more tickets. There's going to be fewer tickets. So that's why you don't want to wait for something like this. And at the same time, if you just know that, listen, I've tried all this other stuff, right? I've tried what loan signing agencies agents told me to do. I've tried that. Right? I've tried getting Calendly. I've tried putting my name on Thumbtack and what people told me to do, but I didn't really understand why I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that you're beyond that point, you know, stalking people's websites and stuff. I see you. I look at your website, I can see it, right? If you know you're beyond guessing, right, lurking in the shadows, don't do that. The fastest way is to make a decision. If you made the decision, go ahead, sign up, get the tickets sooner rather than later, because as the weeks pass, there's going to be fewer and fewer.
You know, I also wanted to say this too, man. I want you guys to understand that all of those classes that you have done and all of those master classes and events that you've gone through has led you to this point. So don't look at it like, damn, you know what? I took like 12 master classes, none of them worked. Believe me, I've been there. Believe me, I've done workshops, webinars, seminars, meetups, and there was a time like none of that stuff to me wasn't working, but it was leading me, it was guiding my direction to meeting the right people, to be in the right room. So don't look at it as like you failed or I'm not going to continue my education and stuff like that. The hell with these masterclass. Don't have that approach towards it, because there's always new information that's being rolled out. And the more and more that you get into these rooms, the more you get to make a sound decision on this is the path I want to go to. This is going to give me the most fulfillment, the most purpose, the most enjoyment, the most money, right? And it will get you to where you're trying to go. So be patient with yourself, right? Continue to do these master classes and stuff. Because one thing I learned, right, when I first started in this game, the YouTube videos were great. I enjoy YouTube University, right? Free videos, free content and stuff. But I knew for a fact, I was like, okay, this person is offering free content, which is great. But I wonder how much better the paid content is, right? Just putting value on anything, right? Okay, this sandwich is free. I wonder how that paid sandwich, I wonder how that tastes. Oh shit, this tastes a whole lot better, right? It's something different, man. People don't usually, and you hear it all the time, and I think it's a lot of crock of shit where they say, give out your best content for free. I really don't believe that they do that. I've been in sales for over 20 years, and I know you bastards are lying. You know what I'm saying? I know you lying. Like, it's like, stop it, dude. You're not giving your best shit for free. Matter of fact, if you made a video and you gave out all of your best shit, you're going to go back and you're going to edit the shit out of that video. I promise you. I've seen the best of the best do it. They literally have gone back and started editing shit out of their video. Like certain companies no longer get said, right? Like they mentioned the company in the original feed, but then, you know, when you go back to watch it, somehow it blanks now. There's a skip in it now. There's a fast forward. The guy has his hands like this, and then like half a second later, he's like this. Like, how did you do that? Dude, I know what y'all niggas doing, man. So stop telling people that you're giving them the best fire content, because if you're giving the best fire content, there'll be no need to buy your paid shit. Yeah. Article. So you guys see what's going on, man. Google and a whole bunch of other companies, they're not laying off hundreds of people. They're laying tens of thousands of people, man. Y'all need a couple of hustles, man. As you're, like, for the most part, you guys are in the notary business, and it's a great business to get into because the overhead is very, very low. You know, like, you just need a car and a printer or something. Sometimes you don't even need a printer. I went the first couple of years, I was going to FedEx and print out my paper. I didn't even go out. I didn't get these laser big. I still don't have a Big Brother printer, laser printer. After the customer pays me, I'll take some of the money that the customer paid me with, go to FedEx and print out the paper if I needed to. So no money came out of my pocket. So it's a great business to get into because it has very, very low overhead. Secondly, you can make a really good amount of money in a very short period of time.
That's what attracted me right there. It's
right?
time. It's not the money. It's time. Yeah.
Where you can make what you would make in 2-3 days in a couple of hours, right? And then not only that, it's a wonderful way to get your feet wet as an entrepreneur because you get to test things and you get to cash flow your business and you get to see different metrics and you see a lot of moving parts and stuff like that. There's so many great aspects about this business. You get to try different marketing tactics. You get to understand customer relations and how to sell a product, right? How to sell and create value into a product. But you ain't getting this shit for free, y'all. You can't expect your coach to spend tens of thousands of hours trying to learn and hone in on their craft to just turn around and just say, here you go. You know how many tire kickers me and Tekk encounter every single day? Oh, I want to pick your brain. Hey, let's meet up over here for a cup of coffee. Nigga, I could buy my own coffee. I'm not going to get my car to drive to meet you for a cup of coffee. So you could just extract information out of my mind. And then you might not even use half of it. Who wasted their time? Can we talk for real? I mean, like, can we be honest? People want to schedule discovery calls with us and not even show up.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I had a no-show this morning, matter of fact, which is interesting. Yeah. No-show. And, yeah, okay. That's your loss. But at the same time, you know, do you still have that same question? Did you ever get an answer to that dilemma? Because got bees out here. I'm happy it's sunny out here, man. But even in my own city, there's a network of notaries here and there's a lot of notaries here. There's over 800 of them here just in this city alone. And that still ain't stopping me because those guys, the ones who I talk to, they're the ones who are like, they know what's going on. Like they know that we don't play. They know that we get headhunters out here and they know that we don't let clients go. I show up to the coffee shop and, you know, this girl, she sent an email saying that, am I hiring? I'm like, no, I'm not hiring. But here's what I would recommend instead. Do you have a car? Reliable? And is there anything that you don't do? If not, then let's go have coffee. And then I'll show you, because again, keep in mind, she called me. She found me and she was asking me if I was hiring. But I said, no, I'm not hiring. But now the truth is, I am kind of hiring because I always want to have people around me. That's just going to it's just going to increase the network. But I have to feel people out first. I have to see that if she really, you know, is she a loan signing agent? Does she think that she's signing up for a title company and then I'm supposed to just give her constant leads on a day-to-day basis? And the reality is, I got something better. I got something better for you. Because if I have to give you leads constantly, then like I'm happy to do that, but you do understand that you're getting the leftovers. You're getting what I already got first, and then you are, you know, free to take on these assignments, whether it's a passport application, whether it's a loan closing, whether it's a power of attorney or whatever. But I got something better. I can show you, like literally show you the exact same thing that I do to get clients every single time. A 78% closing rate. That's confidence. And she didn't show up.
That shit is crazy, bro. That's why I'm saying I am unapologetically a businessman. 100% through and through. Yes, I love to teach. I love to share knowledge with what I've learned, especially things that I've done that have actually worked. But I'm not doing the shit for free. I already give out a lot of free. I got like almost 600 videos on YouTube. The numbers are staggering, but I want to work with people. I'm at the point now in my career where I only want to work with people that are really, really serious. And the only way I can really separate them in the sandbox is the amount of investment that they're willing to make in themselves. Now, the ones that have gotten private coaching with me, they've seen ridiculous numbers. They've seen more money in a month than they've seen in like 6 months of working for corporate America, right? So I want to work with people like that. Although I don't do the one-on-one coaching anymore because I just don't have the temperament for it. I still have my doors open for group coaching, and we do masterminds and stuff like that. But if I did it just by myself, it would be kind of a theory. But if I'm able to replicate and duplicate the system, this shit works. It really works, right? Because other people are now seeing results from it immediately. It really comes down to you, or how much work are you willing to put in. And it ain't no backbreaking shit, dude. It's not like you fucking doing construction. All right? I gotta be real with these cats.
It's real.
I gotta keep it all the way funky with y'all. Y'all act like y'all fucking doing construction and laying down concrete in this joint. Man, that's a lot of hard work. No, it's not. This is using brain power, man. This is critical thinking, man. We ain't asking you to lift cinder blocks and carry pipes and shit down 2 miles and shit so they can lay it down in the concrete and lay black tar over it. You got this business fucked up. This ain't that business. I'm not asking you to wait on 5 tables at a time like you work at Applebee's or Olive Garden and you on your feet 12 to 15 hours a day. That's hard work.
Indeed.
Working at a plant, Ford or Suzuki, and you're working on the assembly line, that's hard work. This shit is paperwork. The fuck you lifting a messenger bag, nigga. like
a side satchel.
Your fucking stamp weighs 0.13 pounds. The hell are you complaining about? You're using your fingertips to craft out a marketing message, and you're like, whoo, nigga, I did some back-breaking work today. What the fuck are you complaining about, man? Nobody told you get on the treadmill for an hour until you felt your heart beating out of your chest and you're about to collapse. Nobody asked you to do weight training and shit to the point where you feel your muscles burning to the point where it's like you have muscle fatigue. This ain't that.
Nah.
Come on, man. It's like the weak. If you're one of these weak-minded people, just jump off this slide, man. This ain't for you, man. Go find Barney. Barney probably got one of them nice little specials where he tell you, I love you, you love me, let's all be a notary together and shit. I'm not doing it, Tekk. Some of us need that hard love, man, that tough love, and be like, yo, he's right. He's right. This shit ain't difficult, man. You're gonna have to take the time out to think. You know why they pay you a salary? Do you know why they pay you hourly? Because they pay you not to think. They don't want you to think in their organization. They want you to do. Do as you're told. Right before I got kicked out of the Navy and shit, right? Right before, real quick, Tekk. Right before I got kicked out of the Navy, when I joined the Navy and shit, they told me, hey, we don't pay you to think here. We pay you to do. Do as you're told. And I was like, yeah, I done enlisted in the wrong fucking place, dude. They don't want me to use my brain in this joint.
No, not at all.
Ah.
No. On the other hand, we want to build leaders. We want to empower you so that you can go out and do this on your own, so that you don't need someone to feed you this, or you don't need someone to, you don't heavily rely on just, you know, you always talk about this one source of clientele, and that can be cut off, and it really can. Or your car breaks down and all of a sudden your whole operation shuts down. No, you have options. You can get the client. Number one step at a time, get the client. All right, you don't charge like $2. You mean to tell me that you can't charge $10? You not comfortable or okay with charging $25? This is not hard work. It's not. No. It's just an easy process that if what you've tried hasn't worked to this point, then let me offer this up. Okay, chances are you're probably introduced to this by a loan signing agent, and then somebody who was very heavily relying upon real estate. And then real estate changed. But that doesn't mean that no one's asking for your service anymore. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden that just stopped. It's just that now you have to reposition yourself. And this is something that we've done all along. This is something that people are just now starting to catch up to, which is kind of cool, which I'm happy. We want you to do this, right? Because this is a reflection of you. You want to be active. We want you to be busy. We want you to try these things, right? But at the same time, if you find that what it is that you're trying ain't really giving you what you thought it was going to give you, then there is an alternative here. There is another way to go about this. All right, so iClose Deals, that's the event. Again, don't wait. It's better to get this sooner than later. Go click on the link in the bio so we can get this taken care of, so you can get on to the next level, man. I'm out of here, man. Anything else you want to drop?
You heard?
All right, man. Take care, man. Again, last time, go get the iClose Deals. Go look on my link in bio. Check it out. And send me a DM or send me a message if you got any questions. But all the answers should be there. All right, we out of here, man.